Carp, and this is vlog number 4, and I've had a perfect start. I'm back up at Isis for a quick overnighter. I've chucked a Ronnie rig out there with a mainline signature pop-up on. Pink is the chosen colour, and it's been out there 10 minutes, and I reckon I've got myself a PB Tench. Not very happy. Look at that, lovely. Bright orange eyes. Pleasure to catch it as it is my second favourite fish. Let's not keep her out any longer. Fingers crossed there's a carp in the night as well. So the rods are all out now. The mainline signature pop-up, which was pink, it's gone straight back on the spot from where I had that tench. I slipped her straight back without weighing. Definitely the biggest tench I've ever had though. So looking back in hindsight, I probably should have weighed her. It's not important. Not sure if you can see off on the distance in the horizon right at the back of the lake there. That's the second Bosch in a couple of seconds. And back to the other two rods. Got one on the left and one on the right. They're both the same approach, both on multi-rigs with TG Active. The TG Active has been left to soak in hemp oil over the last couple of days, and what I've been doing is been adding green limpet mussel powder, hydrodized liver powder, and also fish meal powder, adding a bit more every day. So they're nice and mature now, so they're out on both spots on the multi-rig. Did have a walk around earlier on and seen a fair few fish. There was a group of them held up right into the right hand corner of where this picture is now, on the far side, but unfortunately as soon as I put any floaters out on top, they just went off. So they were a bit shy with the floaters, which was a shame, because after the amount of carp I've seen over there, I thought, oh, I got a chance here, but no, they weren't interested. But fingers crossed, I'll have my first carp out of Isis tonight. It's looking good for a bite. It's a nice evening, and it all looks like it's in my favour, so fingers crossed the carp gods are with me as well. Morning guys, it's 5:25 in the morning, and unfortunately last night was completely uneventful. However, I did get plenty of sleep, which is good. I'm now going to do a slow pack down. I got an hour before I got to leave to go to work, so I'm just going to start organising now. A little bit disappointed because I had a great start with that tench and got it straight back out on the spot, so I was hoping something else was going to happen, but it wasn't to be. The conditions also looked absolutely spot on for it as well, but I suppose sometimes in carp fishing that's the way it goes. The next time I get up here is potentially Saturday. I do have the night free, however I was thinking about going on the pond, and not quite made up my mind what I want to do yet. If it won't be Saturday, I've got a session coming up next week with Stuart. We're doing another vlog for that. So Stuart's coming back up here with me to do a bit of piking. Well, I say piking, he's going to be doing piking, I expect, no Stuart, and I'll be doing some carping. So we're back at Isis. What I'm going to do today, I'm going to do a continuation to vlog number 4, because let's face it, not a lot happened when I was up here on Thursday night. I had the tench, which was lovely, but after everything was really quiet. Now, some bit of news this morning. I've got up here in the same peg, quite luckily, and I've started putting balls of bread in, I mean little tiny balls, and some sweet corn, some chopped boilies and some crumb, and just while I've been setting up, I've been going backwards and forth to the little spot and putting it down, and the last time I looked down now I probably had about 5 or 6 tench on the spot. So what I'm going to do, because I'm coming fishing, yeah, alright, I want to get a carp out, but as I'm here fishing, and I do like tench, I've got some pop-up corn on a rig, and I'm going to lower it down and try and get myself a little tench out. Anyway, so let's see how that develops, lads, and I'll check back in with you later. So it's now 1:45 in the afternoon. Nothing really to report about. It's very quiet. A lot of the carp seem to be on the surface, out in the middle of the lake, out of reach. And my little spot I had going this morning when I got here with the tench in, they're still down there hanging around. And to my right hand side over here, I've just created another spot with loads of boiled up bread, hemp, chopped boilie, sweet corn, some hemp oil. So just all mixed it up in a bucket and chucked it down there to go try and get a little spot going. Like I said, yeah, nothing has happened. I've changed my rig over a couple of times. Well, it is the Ronnie rig, where the Tench are down there. I've had one piece of corn on, nothing. Now I've changed it over to a dumbbell, still nothing. So I've gone back to 3 pieces of corn, just so it pops up off the bottom a little bit, to see if that makes any difference. Saying the carp are on the surface, they are right over my middle rod though. Granted, I am on the deck with a pineapple pop-up, but if they get their heads down, it is there. I have thought about putting a zig out, but I'm not confident when it comes to zigging, so it's about 11 wraps, so I don't really want to whack it out there and not be confident that it's sitting right. We'll keep going though. I'll check in again later on this evening, and fingers crossed there's a bit more to report. Well, it's taken a bloody while, and they've been avoiding my rig for a long time, but finally got a tench out on the sweet corn. It was real sweet corn I had put on the hair as well. They wouldn't have the plastic corn. There you go, just a lovely little tench. Maybe they should call this what a load of tench, so I seem to be catching more tench and carp at the moment. But pucker, let's get it back. So morning, nothing to report unfortunately. Yesterday after I had that tench, the left hand rod which I had in the margin, I decided to send out long with the middle rod. But after 3 attempts of putting it out and bringing it back in again, I got fed out of it, purely because the black chickens were getting me. I put new bags on 3 times, new baits, and every time I put it out there, even if they were nowhere to be seen, they went straight back to the spot. As soon as they heard this, as soon as they heard the commotion on the water, they went straight back to the spot, and decided to pick up both the rigs. So that was a bit of a wasted effort, but one of those things I suppose. So what I decided to do in the end, and move the middle rod and put it to the right hand side in the hole where I had the tench from. So I had 2 rods down there. Then the left hand side one, which originally was in the margin, I put back down into the margin to the left. So I thought, well, what I'll do when it gets dark, I'll put the left hand rod and the middle rod back out on the long spots. Hopefully it will avoid the birds and it'll be too dark and it won't be able to get down and see it. That was a success. That's exactly what I did, and they did both go out long, and I didn't get pestered by the birds at all. They're still out there now at the moment, and they've not picked them up yet. The right hand rod down in the hole, lots of tench again down there feeding before dark, and then again this morning there's been a few down there as well. Also seen 3 carp swim through on the right hand side yesterday. They were literally just swimming through, they didn't stop and investigate, and it was 3 different fish. That was encouraging to see. I am not in a great rush to get back for a change, so as long as I'm back by late afternoon, that's all good. I've got a bit of time to try something different, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to pack up probably about 10 o'clock I expect, just to keep out the essentials, and I'm going to have a wander around and do some stalking, I think, see if I can find one on the spot, or hopefully if the weather remains the same, get one off the top. But that's my plan of action for the last few hours that I'm here today. So guys, I'm all packed up, and I went to one part of the lake as they were on the top, put some floaters out, and they started having them, but as per usual the bird life come over and distracted that situation, so, or should I say ruined it. I've just come to the back of the lake now, and there are some carp right on the margin here, right up on the shelf, just taking scum off the top. So I'm going to creep down into the bushes. I'm going to try and have one out. I've got to be really careful, because if they spot me, they're dark, they're that shallow and that close. Anyway, here goes nothing, fingers crossed. Still waiting, guys. I got one on the bottom to my right with a bag, boilie, where I seen a carp kept coming in and out, so I put one right down there. And then I've got one on the surface out there as well. But they seem to have pushed out a little bit since I've arrived here. I made as little noise as possible, but the swan's coming again, so I don't think that helped the situation. But I'm going to keep plugging away, and I'll check back in later. Well, that'll be that then, guys. Unfortunately, no carp to report. I haven't been one not to try though. I've tried getting one at the margin, which was feeding. Unfortunately, he didn't return back to the spot after I loaded my rigging. I tried on the top, lots of different sorts of floaters. Just can't get them to have a go. Just can't get them to feed. So that was a bit frustrating, but if they're not going to feed, they're not going to feed. If all goes to plan, I'm going to do Thursday, Friday and Saturday. I'm not sure what Stuart's plans are at the moment, so it could potentially just be Friday and Saturday night. But anyway, as always, thank you very much for watching, and I will catch you on the next vlog.